Hey, I want to get back to my man Nic D, the man with the plan. Yo, please go look at him on all platforms. Look up Nic D. Hey, yo, my man, like, what actually got you into music, though? Like, what was it that was like, yo, I really want to do my thing? Were you tired of hearing music and you were like, they should add something to that? What if I made my own? Or, like, what was it that, brought you to the horizon of music?
Originally?
Yeah.
High school. I just loved it. Like, I loved the craft, the art, and it was mostly just being inspired and creating. But now, like the type of music that I make now. So I took a little bit of a break and I built my company, my photo and video company.
Big shout out to you for that.
Yeah, and then now that I make I just feel like there's a whole all right, I'm gonna go into something. So so people, they earn the platform, right? Whether that be through a big budget behind just pushing them in front of all the eyes that they need, right? Or, they work hard for it. And when they get the platform, I feel like a lot of people use it in a way that's not beneficial to others. So they get there and then they promote, whether the simple stuff that you would normally think, drugs, alcohol, women, and I just feel like that if I could get up there, I could have a platform for good, like for doing good, for being good, for showing good, for sharing good. And that's my goal. But as far as getting into it now, everything that I make is going to come from a real life experience or something I'm feeling, something I've seen, stuff like that.
And that's something that I really, really respect from you. Like, so when you want to tell them what the name of your media company is?
New Gen Media. Yeah.
What was it? What made you want to go ahead and call it New Gen? Is that like a new generation?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, new generation. And that, that's just, when I started the company, I started with a partner, and then he faded out, and then it became mine, and then built it up to what it is now. And it's what I do for a living. I do it every day. I did it earlier today. And my goal is to have a flexible life.
Yeah.
My goal is not to make $1 bazillion. My goal is to that when I want to, I can come here. Like if this was at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, I could come here. You know what I mean? Like I can do what I want when I want.
Right.
Unless I have a gig, that I've committed myself to.
Right.
And that's what I want, is a flexible life. So, yeah, that's where I'm at now.
And that's what I respect, man, because you knew exactly what you wanted to do, and you put all your eggs in the basket, win, lose, or draw, because you love it. People always just think, oh, wish I could do that, but they never want to sacrifice to do that, and that's what you did, and now you're running with it. So much
free work, and not that it's a bad thing. Like, I enjoy free work because I like what I do.
Right.
And so let's take this. Let's say you have one person who went to school for a film degree, and they get out of school and they think they're worth something because they have the degree. They think that they can charge a certain amount of money and they won't take any less because they think that they've earned that.
Right.
And then there's me who went to YouTube University. And I'm just like, I'll take whatever I can get. I just like doing it. So I do like 3 free jobs. Those 3 people refer me to 3 other people that are paying jobs. And this guy's still sitting with no jobs because he thinks he's worth something.
Exactly.
It's just
that's a huge
Amen.
that's a huge piece of advice to anybody trying to start something out.
Yeah.
For sure.
I want to bring it back a little bit. All right, so growing up, did you first start listening to hip hop, or was it another genre that got you into music?
When I first started listening, it was probably some Ocean Avenue, you know what I mean?
Banger.
Like, so stuff like that I enjoyed. But yeah, hip hop was, obviously Eminem was someone that I listened to growing up. And now I don't really consume that much music. I'm a big advocate for create more, consume less, because I like to be inspired, but I don't like to be influenced. I don't want anything to influence the way that I create. So there's people that make music that I respect that I'll check up on. Like obviously Logic just dropped a song with him. I listened to it. I gave it a respect, love. I enjoyed it. I'm not putting it on repeat in the car.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I don't want to have any flow, cadence.
Yeah.
Whatever they're talking about, I don't want to have that influence the things that I create, because then it wouldn't really be me,
Yeah.
We had that talk the other day
nice.
too on one of the podcasts we had previously about that, and I said the same thing you did, dude. Like, got to give them respect, man, but you just don't want to be like, oh damn, I sound like so and so. Nah, I want to talk about my personal experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I totally agree.
How so you do like photography and videography. So how early did you find your way to a camera? Because it's really, I mean, it's really hard to build a successful company doing that 'cause so many people are. So I imagine that you didn't just start doing this like yesterday.
No, high school as well with a
Yeah.
camera, and I used to film videos like of me jumping off stuff and over stuff. Like that's
Yeah.
what
Tell
you
you,
mentioned
yo.
earlier.
Yeah.
It was my thing. Jumping was my thing. Like
Yeah.
flipping. Like I jumped over a car. Like I would just run and jump over, and I would film
Did you
it.
do track?
I did do track. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did track, and
There you
I
go.
actually I went to states for all 3 jumping events.
That's awesome.
Which is
There you go.
I'd like to jump.
Yeah. No, that's
Um,
awesome.
I actually noticed that when I was flipping through his pictures.
Yeah.
He had a lot of pictures that he was jumping.
Just
in.
jumping.
You see that
Very
one?
beautiful pictures.
Jordan, bro, with, like the sun in the back. I was like, yo, he's like 20 feet in the air.
I think the one where he grabbed his legs behind his back, like
Oh.
the sun was in that. That looked
No
beautiful.
Photoshop. That's trill and real.
That's
Yeah.
just jumping.
Jumping. That's
Uh,
awesome.
But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
camera in my hand since high school. I filmed music videos for other artists locally to where I live. But what I found was that a lot of musicians, especially on the indie grind,
Mm-hmm.
don't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
So like when you're a creator, you can't make a lot of money that route. So I filmed one wedding like in October, and I was like, I like this. I like meeting people, engaging with people, and creating something that they can really, hold on to forever if they want. And I was like, and it pays okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and run with this for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the next year I did like 30 weddings, and
Decent.
in the next year I did 75. So like I kept growing it. So what I think that people are afraid to do is invest in themselves a lot. So I had probably $300 in my business bank account, and there's a website called The Knot, and I was like, I don't have the money for this. It's $180 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't have the money for this, but I was like, I'm gonna do it because, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went for it. 30 weddings, because I got myself out there.
Yeah.
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 And just putting yourself, like, doesn't apply to just video creation, but with everything, music, whatever you're trying to do. When you make yourself available, opportunities present themselves.
Yeah.
So when you're out and about, when you talk to people, opportunities will pop up, and
Yeah.
that's when you can grab them. Like if you're just sitting on the couch wondering why nothing's working for you,
Right.
it's probably because you're not working for anything.
Yep.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
Very, very simple and
My
true.
man's
advice,
dropping
man.
gems tonight.
That's what he do, man.
We need to start charging for this podcast.
Dude, he's
That's baby
dropping
Jesus over
gems.
there.
That's
I'm gonna
awesome.
come out of this podcast like a better person. Like for real, I genuinely feel that
Inspired and ready
way.
to start the next day.
Man, I'm ready to go. I'm not going to sleep tonight. I got things to do.
He said, "I got things to do." Is traveling? So I saw another thing. First of all, I want to say like I really respect your philosophy on like lifestyle. I know we talked about like what our what would make us happy with our lifestyle and like being in control of my time. I would love that. Right now, I'm
Yeah.
not at all, and it's
Yeah.
very frustrating. So I definitely understand like not needing to have the most money, but being able to
Yeah.
do what you want when you want can mean a lot.
Right.
But another thing that I want to do that I feel like I can't right now is I want to go see other places,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not in control of my time, so I feel very like stuck
Yeah.
in that like cycle. But I saw that you've been out of this country, and it
Yeah.
seems like you've had some awesome experiences in other places. Like, you talk a little bit about that and like how that even was able, like how are you able to create those opportunities for yourself?
Yeah. So I decided last year, and that's how things start for me. Like I decide them. I'm pretty quick to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So last year I decided we're going to travel a lot. And however that needs to work, I figured out along the way. So we started with a few, not local, but we knew people there.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to, I think, Savannah, Georgia, and then Cape Coral, Florida. And we had places to stay, right? That's
Mhm.
how we started. Like, the power of the plan is not that it's going to get you where you want to be, but it's that it's going to get you started.
Yeah.
So that got us started. And then we were like, okay, well, let's, go to Texas. Waco, my wife wanted to go there.
Mm-hmm.
The Chip and Joanna thing. So I reached out to this company. All right, so previously,
Mm-hmm.
before we went to Texas, we were in Colorado. And I did photo video for a motel,
Mm-hmm.
and I could stay for free.
Mm-hmm.
And I, do photo video for the local pub free food. You know, like
Yeah.
you can do so much bartering. Like I love the barter system.
Yeah.
But I met someone there that owns a marketing agency out of Tulsa, and he said, on your travels, let me know where you are, and I'll let you know if we have work there for you. So he was like, we have a gig in Texas. Well, and I was like, okay, I'm going to Texas. I wasn't going to Texas, but I am now.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so like we're going, and so that's what I mean by like,
yeah.
and we went somewhere, you know, New York, Arizona, Utah, Nevada. Like my son's a year and a half. He's been to like 15, 20 states.
That's
like
awesome.
He came, you know, he came
That's
everywhere.
more than me, and I'm 27.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like that advice is super important. Like
Yeah.
someone gave me a piece of advice that I needed a while ago. Jonathan Brown. I was talking to. He's a poet, slam poetry and hip hop artist out of New Orleans, and I was talking to him on the phone. And I was like, I want to change all these things about my life. And he was like, why don't you start off by just changing your weekend? He's like, why don't you just like try to do Saturday and Sunday different?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah,
Crawl
I
before
guess
you
that's
walk.
probably a better place to start. And like, you just start to see a path
Yeah.
form instead of being like, I'm here and I want to be here and there's no way for me to get there. So
Mhm.
I like that you're like, we just started off with very basic stuff we could do. And that's advice that you can apply to anything. Just
Yeah.
saying. Just saying.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How is it with you juggling business and family life?
It's tough.
You know,
It
finding
is
a
tough.
happy medium in that balance.
It's tough for me because I love working, like in music now. Like I find myself when I'm at photo jobs, I'm like, I'd rather be making music.
Right.
And that's new because when I was working hard on building the photo video, that's all I wanted to do.
Right.
But yeah, balancing family. So, and Trust Your Insides is a song that I wrote. It says, you know, find that work balance. It was like that I work too much and I struggle with it, and my wife tells me that. So find the balance. I do it, but I don't do it well because I feel like on me, like I still have so many things that I want to accomplish.
Right.
But out of all the things I've ever accomplished, the top 2 things that I've ever done are become a husband and a father.
That's big.
So I always put those first.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I've done a lot of cool stuff. I've been a lot of places, but those 2 take everything. So when I have that in my head, in my heart, like that's where my more focus is.
My guy.
If you go on his Instagram, that's what it says, like husband, father,
Yep.
and then everything.
Yep.
And
else.
then the other things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
those are the priority.
There you go. That's super.
I think that in itself is something for people to buy into, you know, being a good role model, that you know you carry yourself very well, and you know, like I said, the content looks good, and man, you haven't given me a reason not to like you, honestly.
I'm sure there's
talk
more.
talk a little bit more about the media company. So video, photos, what else? You do weddings?
Yeah, weddings, small business, which helps me to travel as well.
Mhm.
And then, so to touch on this, like the Utah, Nevada, Arizona trip, I just emailed like, or I had my wife email, like 40 Airbnbs.
Yeah.
And we were like, hey, do any of you guys want to trade us stay for photos? And all you need is one yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like imagine, and with anything, imagine if I told you you were 10 no's away from the yes you wanted. How excited would you be for every no?
Very excited.
Ah.
Be hyped up.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah.
nice.
If you knew you only had 10 more no's to go, you'd be like, all right, let's get these out the way.
Yeah,
like,
you
come
know?
on.
Yeah. So like, no, 2 yeses,
Mm-hmm.
follow up, 1 yes. We stay for free for a week, $1,500 worth of Airbnb for photo and video while I'm there.
A
You know,
steal.
like,
yeah.
all you need is 1 yes.
and a
Yeah.
potential customer for life.
All you need is 1 yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, small business. Town of Culpeper, where I live, I create like all their tourism videos and photography, which is
Mhm.
great. I love that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's big.
Plug how everybody can get a hold of you for your business real quick.
Instagram at New D Media, same as the website newdmedia.com.
Boom.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. So my man has been dropping content like crazy lately. We're going to talk to him more about the music side of what he's been doing. But first he did bring a nice gem with him. You want to throw it to the video?
Yeah, so Through Your Teeth is the name of the song, and the video, it's pretty rappy. Yeah, hey, what's up? The video's, it's just rappity rap, like, so it's gritty. Yeah, enjoy.
You told me that you were proud. How long are you here in town? You said you want me around. Why you lying through your teeth? I ain't said them on this sound amount of raving, yeah. I ain't say a word, but you vibing, man, that's crazy, yeah. Not sure why they talking, they keep talking, it don't faze me, yeah. I ain't do it to them, but for some reason they angry, yeah. Had the songs I'm gonna make, probably end up thrown away. Had these rappers that I see are underwhelming, overpaid. Oh, I'm not supposed to say how I feel, that's right, okay. They just telling me to go, like I got the right away. Some of y'all not bad, it's just the content of your message. All you rap about is how much weed you had for breakfast, man, that's weak. Why you flexing? I was just checking under pressure, nothing pressing. They just trying to impress, it's not impressive. I just swing when I back and check your pain. Boy, you lagging if it's ever about a thing. You could have it by the bang, by them rings, by the basket. I don't love or hate the thing, it's a flame. Why you asking, man, you changed, you appealing to the masses. You told me that you were proud. How long are you here in town? You said you want me around. Why you lying through your teeth, yeah. If I ever knew a thing, talk is cheap, yeah. Said it don't bother me, I just breathe, yeah. You don't even see what I see, yeah. That's the thing, yeah. Don't nobody know me better than the internet. Google know my secrets, baby. She never interject, that's like trusting your lungs. With a cigarette, you light up in the bathroom. Like a silhouette, you ain't hiding from no one. Don't run while you can, yeah. Shouts to Uncle Sam, yeah. Only person telling me I can or that I can, yeah. Stick it to the man, yeah. How can I be mad, brother? He probably a fan, man. This whole thing is a scam. Got him jumping there on land. I just keep him in the air. Hold up, keep him there, yeah. Let him down easy, baby. Hard to find a reason lately. I just keep creating. This is greatness in the making. You told me that you were proud. How long are you here in town? You said you want me around. Why you lying through your teeth, yeah. Why you told me lying through your. Why you lying through your, yeah. You told me that you were proud. Why you lying through your teeth, yeah.
Yo, that was Nic D's new video that drops Friday.
Yeah, it's not out yet.
Y'all just got the
That's a
exclusive.
treat right there.
Through Your Teeth, dropping this Friday, and you could watch it again. So I heard earlier you drop content every Friday, every other Friday.
Every other Friday.
Tell us the inspiration behind, driving all this content out.
I think nowadays you just have to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
But consistent is half of it. You also have to have quality.
Right.
Stuff that people are interested in. So what I want to, like, I committed in December. I decided I'm going to go for music. And I hadn't, hobby before that, I made it because I liked to.
Yeah.
But in December I decided I'm going to go for music and see what happens. So I put out a song called Insecurities, and right now it's got 75,000 streams on Spotify. It's over 100,000 total streams.
That's big,
Nice.
brother.
Since December.
Congrats.
Yeah, that's neat,
Yeah.
Numbers are cool. I try not to focus on them because they don't mean as much as you think they do. But so I think here's a gem for musicians especially.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people that make great music. A lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking they invest money in mixing, mastering, or they have the equipment to do it. Mixing, mastering, the instrumental,
Mm-hmm.
video production,
Mm-hmm.
cover art, graphic designer, like whatever. They invest all of this, and then they post it to the same 500 people, right? They don't check the last box, which is promotion, marketing. Like, if it's not getting in front of people, then they don't know it's there. So they don't know. They don't know. They can't decide if they like it or not because they've never even had the chance to see it. So what I went right into in December was I'm going to put $1,000 behind one song. And then I probably put a little more. Don't tell my wife. But that put me in front of people, and they were able to say, "Hey, I like it." And I did. Like I put every 2 weeks, I put money behind every song that I put out for promotion. And a lot of people don't check that box, so they stay posting to the same people, and that's okay. Like, but if you want to grow. Like IGTV, all Instagram, like it's becoming, like you said, like your posts don't go to everybody.
Yeah.
But if you sponsor it, it'll go to it'll go to all your followers if you sponsor it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm talking like $10 behind it.
Yeah.
It'll at least hit every follower you have.
100%.
So it's worth it.
Yeah.
We've been
100%.
talking about that for weeks and telling people, like, you definitely got to dump money into promo.
Yeah.
Why just show the
Yeah.
same people or just people you know? Wouldn't
Yeah.
you want to get that out to somebody else? And that's dope you do that. And it definitely shows that, you know what I mean, you're putting up the numbers, not only the numbers, but you're building a fan base. And people are buying into, your music and you. And shoot, just by going through the couple videos that I seen, I think it's great content. I really like the refrigerator one. Hold on. Feels Like War.
Yeah.
Feels Like a War.
Feels Like
Wow.
War.
That's an awesome song. You got a lot of gems on there, too.
I appreciate
My other
it.
one that I really like was Trust Your Insides.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that one a lot, too.
That's my wife's favorite for obvious reasons. It's me just like calling myself out on stuff I don't do well.
Yeah.
So
Like,
she's like,
well, yeah.
she's like, "Hey, man."
yeah. She's like, thank you.
I'm a big fan of Let Me Explain and People Get Low. Like
Yeah.
you really like just hit it like on so many different like
Yeah.
platforms of just showing not only what you were speaking on, but just showing the effects of how it affects people.
Right.
Like the actors and actresses you put in the video.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, like it just hits.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody who's in Nick's videos. Y'all do a great job as well.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Which one of those was the one about, was it about your dad?
Let me explain about
Yeah.
my dad. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was deep.
That was super deep,
He
man.
ain't
Real
talked
deep.
to me since.
Oh, really?
Hit too deep, man.
He ain't talked to me since. And he had heard it before that.
But
Really?
he just
Yeah.
he didn't know how it was gonna feel when it went out.
It went public, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I've heard a lot of like, not only just like musicians but writers say that like when they tell their truth, sometimes that type of thing happens. But at the same time, how many people are you touching by sharing that truth?
That
you know
was
what I
my
mean?
that was my thought. It was like, because it says in the video that I love my dad.
Yeah.
I love my dad. Like,
yeah.
he's not perfect, neither am I. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have any issue with him, but this is real for me.
Yeah.
So I wrote about it, and I wanted to show people, like, if they have parents, mother, father, sister, brother, whatever, people with the same issues, that they can be okay as well.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to hate them. You know what? That only, like, your grudge towards them or your negative feelings towards them only hurts you.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
true.
it only brings you down. It only stresses you out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're cool
Mm-hmm.
with the decisions that they're making. So,
Yeah.
you know.
No, for sure. I always came up with this. Well, I read a book by Brene Brown, and she done a lot of TED Talks, but she's like, most of the time people are doing the best they can with what they have.
Yeah.
And it's not always great, but like that's the way I look at life, and that
Yeah.
helps me a lot, because like it may not be the outcome I want, but it's like it's the best they can do with what they have, and it's not my responsibility to like bear that burden. So that's awesome, man. I love the simplicity of your videos, but the powerful impact that they can have visually. Like, I love that. Like, that's something I wish I could master, because I've just started working with him on making videos and coming up with, like, treatments and ideas. And it's really cool to see that, like, something super as simple as you sitting in your car, but having something real to say and having a piece of content that, like, portrays that can be so impactful. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't have to have a $1,000 camera and
Yeah,
lights and all
yeah.
this stuff. Like, you just have to have something honest.
Content is king.
Yeah.
Content is king. Over equipment. Like, people use equipment as a crutch.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
The brain dump thing, that was what really got me. Like, yeah, just because.
Blows my mind.
Yeah,
I'm
it got
serious,
me.
blows my mind.
Because, I mean, I did something similar, but, like, because of the fact that, like, when you're saying, like, it just also, like, inspires you as a creator. When you, like, sing the hook, and then you're like, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to accent it in, like, a higher octave.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wow. Like,
Right.
and then you hear it, and you're like, wow, that sounds really good. Like, I would have never thought to do something like that. Like, it's just really cool to see how you, like, take all of these pieces and you put them together and it becomes something. And then when, like, if I go back and listen to the song, I'm going to be like, oh.
Right.
I remember when he
like,
said, like, that
like
thing
you were
about
there.
the chorus. So, like, I think you should definitely keep doing the brain dump things. Those are cool.
I need to. I do.
Are they fun to do? Do you enjoy doing that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I just throw the camera on while I'm
Doing your thing.
doing,
Yeah.
and in the process. So, yeah, it surprised me, like I said earlier, that people cared.
No, yeah, it comes off very natural. Like, your personality comes out in it a lot. So, that's super dope.
So you said, you decided to go full on with music back in this past December.
Yeah, December 2018.
How long before that, have you always been writing raps, or did you start doing poetry, or?
Yeah, hip hop. And I always used to say that I rap because I can't sing. And over time,
Tomato.
over time I've been able to develop a range,
Right.
like a comfortable place where I can sing.
It's all about training your voice.
Yeah.
And,
Just whatever
Give me hope.
comes natural. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
And
you about to be there,
I'm trying. I'm in that place right now where I have so
Yeah.
many ideas.
yeah.
My voice won't cooperate with
Yeah.
my ideas sometimes.
Once you find like a tone or just like a range that fits you, like fits your voice, like anyone can sing.
Yeah.
You just have to find the place you're comfortable
Mm-hmm.
and do your thing there.
In that place, yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
try to be Mariah. you
Yeah.
know? Don't like you're not.
Exactly.
Let's be real.
Like, no, yeah, that gives me hope for
Are
sure.
you sure I'm not? 'Cause I think I am.
Trav, you
Auto-tune
weren't even
some
close.
days,
You
I
were like at the
think.
opposite end of the spectrum. By the way, Trav's making his debut on part 3.
Okay.
Whoa.
Dropping at the end of this
I
month.
need an autograph copy of that junk.
I need a revision. I need to drop a whoop in there.
You haven't heard the new version of it?
No, I haven't.
All right. Well, I did whoops on the hook, but if you want to do them, you're more than welcome.
I put 'em in there
Doing one
for
at the
you.
beginning.
All right,
Let's do it.
but if you do it, it's got to be a long one.
Whoa.
There, come
he
on,
hit
get
it.
it. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I'll just pull the audio from the podcast.
Just
Oh.
place it in there. Oh man.
So when you say you drop content every other Friday, are we
Yeah.
talking music videos, or are we talking just songs, or just any type of content?
Every other Friday is a song with a video.
big.
And I've never
Wow.
told people that that's what I've been doing. Obviously, they could have picked up on it.
Right.
But I've never said, hey, I'm releasing a music video every other Friday.
And that
Yeah.
kind of, it being that you didn't come out and say
Yeah.
that, like, if you slipped up, it's no biggie.
Yeah, right? Give yourself a cushion.
But now you've made the public statement
Yeah, right?
that it's happening.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to go with it.
Yeah.
But I in my mind, I'm going 24
keep growing.
videos.
24
Like, I'm going
videos.
this year.
Yeah.
That's big.
Like,
Mhm.
this year I'm not coming off of it, 24 songs, 24 videos, unless I decide to do a project
Mhm.
in the fall. And I'm not sure if that's the route I want to go yet, but
Why don't you rock out the 24 and then do the project?
that's what I need to figure
Because they're going to ride the
It
wave
sounds like you got a
regardless.
couple in the tank already.
I got a few, yeah.
How much do you have involved in the videography for these ones that you drop? Like, do you?
So I'll reference videos for you guys since you've seen them, and if other people want to go check them out, then they can pick up on it.
Mm-hmm.
So like Good Enough, the one in
Mhm.
the truck. I set up the tripod,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like 4 or 5 tripod shots, and that's
That's
it.
I was about to say, it
Really?
was a couple
That's
different
it.
angles. Yeah.
Camera never
Damn.
moved. It's at like
Yeah.
like tripod on all of them,
Yeah.
and it's wild that that's interesting enough for people to watch.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
So that one, I set up the tripod, how I wanted it to look, and I had a buddy of mine just make sure it was recording behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it.
Simple.
On something like the insecurities video
Mhm.
where there's, 2 people in there. Anything that I'm not in, I'm filming. And then if I'm in it and the camera's moving, then I just hand it to a friend. Typically Mark. He's always down to help me out.
Somebody who's capable.
Yeah, he also does some side work with my videography company.
Oh, right on.
So he's
He
he's
knows.
learning a lot.
Yeah.
So I can give him direction,
Mm-hmm.
and then it really like magic comes in editing sometimes. So I edit all my videos. And there's a guy, I want to shout him out, Cakes Mitchell. He has a reaction channel on YouTube and everything. He's a really, really great guy. And he said, dude, I love what you're doing. He's a professional videographer. He has his own videography company. He said, I love what you're doing and I want to help. And
You're like,
you don't, you don't get that a lot,
That's
you know?
awesome.
So he shot the one you just watched,
Mm-hmm.
Through Your Teeth. I edited it. He shot Worry. He shot Trust Your Insides. And he shot Weak, which is that
Mhm.
one take in
Mhm.
the road.
That was
I've
hard.
seen that one.
So like I still edited them, color graded and all that
Right.
stuff. But having someone behind the camera that does it for a living is really helpful because you
Oh,
can
yeah.
feel more
Sure,
confident.
I was
when
about to
you're-
say it's a
yeah.
lot reassuring in your
Yeah.
mind. You're not worried about him missing
Yeah,
something.
exactly. I don't
or-
have to be constantly thinking like, is this shot good or is it gonna be good or do we need to refilm it? Like you can just
Mhm.
trust the
Just-
guy that's behind the
Yeah.
camera,
Of course.
which is helpful.
No, for sure. That's
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
I can't believe those were tripod shots. That is blowing my mind right now. 'Cause
That's what's blowing your mind? I
Well,
didn't know he was shooting his own videos
I mean,
and editing them.
well, because like I tried to do that IGTV video today, and
Yeah.
I just started taking my tripod with me, and I made a 2-minute video, and it was not the greatest, and it was
Right.
hard.
Yeah.
Humble.
So for you to like be making videos like that, you're just setting your tripod up. That
Tripod.
blows my mind.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I got a question for you about Worry. What was the concept of you having the umbrella? Was that basically like being in a rainy day, but finally dropping it, like letting go of your worries, being like, you know what, I'm not gonna worry about it anymore?
So worry the umbrella represented worry, like anxiety, whatever.
Depression. anything.
Yes, and that's hanging over your head, right?
Mhm.
That's what it represents. And then when I'm kind of doing those like corny, like whatever moves, it's like my daily dance with anxiety, which I struggle with, but not with anything like. What I struggle with anxiety about is my health, and that's because I got sick a few years ago. So like I still battle with that, like just almost like PTSD of like, am I gonna be sick again?
Right.
So that's what I deal with. But yeah, so that was what the umbrella represented. And then at the end of the video was me taking my worry and just like destroying it, like moving on, leaving the pieces.
Yeah, like you're not gonna be a part of. You're not gonna take over my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And a lot of the songs I write are like things that I want to remember. Like I'm telling myself, don't worry about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then people
Exactly.
relate, which is why people listen. But yeah, I actually had a line about this. It was like, and I never used it for a song. It was, I'll come back to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know, the symbolism in that, like it like comes back to like simplicity, but
Yeah.
like very powerful because people can see that, like, and
Yeah.
understand it. That's the stuff that inspires me when I watch videos. Like Jesse Reyes and Black just dropped a video, super simple, nothing really to it, but like so powerful. And I was like, wow, I want to
Yeah.
make a video like that. So
Yeah.
that's
A lot of
awesome.
people cooked me up for that umbrella. But hey, what are you gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
I think it fit.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I thought it was dope.
Engagement is key.
Yeah.
Whether they
I mean, if you
like
were
it
there
or-
without the umbrella, I think it would have looked weird. Or plain.
I mean, it represented something, so it has.
yeah, a lot of people just didn't know,
Yeah.
what it represented.
Right.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot of dumb people out there who can't
Yeah.
pick up
Yeah.
references.
I mean, I like that in a way that people don't know because then it opens the door for communication for them
Yeah.
to ask me.
Right.
Yeah.
And
You know.
interpretation. Like,
I was
And
gonna say
interpretation, yeah.
interpret in their own way.
Like, yeah.
And you answering back the way you do with the quickness that you do makes them like really feel involved.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I really want to see what he's coming up with next. Let me read into it a little
Yeah.
more every time now. So you're going to open up so many people's minds now
Yeah.
just because they asked you and you answered,
Yeah.
opposed to them asking you and you didn't answer. And they're like, no, I'm not.
Yeah. When I release a song, and I really recommend this as well, don't plan anything for the next hour, at least. You know,
Right.
respond to every comment.
Yeah.
Respond to every DM. Because I mean, I care. Like I just care.
Yeah.
So I hope that it comes across for people that I really appreciate that people are listening. You know, I make so a line that I wrote was, it's a passion project. They don't understand the concept. I made it for myself, but I really hope they rock it.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I made it for me,
Mm-hmm.
but my goodness, like, I really love it when people like it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
100%, brother.
For sure.
Of course.
For sure. We can
Yeah.
all relate to that.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's a line that you had that just, it hit me, like, I was like, wow. And I love when people can write like this. They can say something that's so known, but and it's like not super complicated, and I'm like, wow, that, like, I would have never thought to put that thought down, but I felt that before. And you said sometimes I'll leave my phone at home on purpose.
Mhm.
Sometimes I hope that I don't have any service.
Yeah.
And like, it seems like you're kind of talking about, like, going on and on about, like, how sometimes that overwhelming, like, of
Yeah.
always having all of that information being flooded to
Mhm.
you is just too much.
Yeah.
I can relate to that
It's
too.
a crutch.
Yeah.
And it's just like, also, it can make you stressed. Like,
I turned
yeah.
my Instagram notifications are off. All my social media notifications are off. So
Mhm.
like, when I go in there, it's intentional. I go in there
Yeah.
to respond. I go in there to communicate,
Yeah.
to post something.
Yep.
I try not to spend a lot of my time like mindlessly scrolling.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, I don't follow that many people. And it's not because I don't like you. It's not
Mhm.
because I don't
Mhm.
respect you.
Yeah.
It's just simply because I don't want to be distracted when I go on there.
Yeah.
Like, I post people's food and, like, whatever. Like, I don't need to see it.
Yeah.
And, like, even artists. Like, there's a lot of artists I respect. I don't follow a lot of artists because I don't want to be influenced
Yeah.
with what they're doing or creating. Like,
Yeah.
I want to make sure what I'm doing is me. And then I also don't do like the follow back thing, because if you follow me, I hope that it's because you really like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I don't want you to follow me just because I followed you, or I don't want you to follow me because you want me to follow you back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, I want you to really enjoy
Mm-hmm.
and really value what I'm doing, and then I think that creates longevity with
Oh,
your
yeah.
platform.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
agree. I totally agree.
I know, like, everyone hates on Russ in the industry, but he talks about this all the time. He's like, there's so many, he calls it, like, he said, summertime rappers, like, they'll have a hit in the summertime and it's a banger, but the song is bigger than the artist.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And, like, they don't have any actual, like, what do you call it, like, connection with actual people. It's just
Mhm.
like a song that you hear on the radio, and then the person's gone. So it's like, I don't know, it comes back to, like, all of the topics that we've been talking about.
Mhm.
So seems like you just gotta create what's on your heart and do it in a real way and
Yeah.
put it out into the world, and people that feel the same way as you will definitely enjoy it.
The right people will hear it. And on my Instagram, my name, like, so my, the handle is I am Nic D, but my name is somebody somewhere. And the reason for that is because somebody somewhere is in need of what you have to offer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you have something to offer,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if I need it or not, but somebody needs it.
Mm-hmm.
Same with you, same with you, same with you.
Right.
So whether that's one person
Mm-hmm.
or 1 million people, it's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
When I put out a song, if the one person that needed to hear it heard it, it served its purpose.
Yeah.
If there was 1 million people that needed to hear it, cool. I love that.
That's
but
great too.
but then it also served. One of them is no greater than the other.
I agree with that. That's an awesome way to go into it too, because then you just don't get yourself built up to be
The number game.
Yeah.
The number
Yeah.
game is no good.
Nope.
It's funny how the world will give you what you need when you really need it. Because I was going through a bit of a rut at one point in time, because I got caught up in, like, progress and seeing growth and just feeling like I wasn't going anywhere. And I was like, nobody sees these videos, nobody cares what I make. And I'm standing in line at a store in the mall to buy something for my mom, and this woman that's like 40 years old, like mid-40s, she taps me on my shoulder. She's like, I'm sorry, but are you Jamie's daughter? And I was like, yes. She's like, I see your videos on Facebook. I was like, really? She's like, yeah, you're really good. Keep up the good work. And I was like, wow. Just when you're ready to, like, complain about how nobody sees you, this woman I've never met in my life that's nowhere near my age or anything is like, oh, I see your videos. Like, good job. Yeah. Just like, I needed that, universe. Thank you.
Made you want to go right back to the drawing board. Like, let me get back to the studio. Let me
Yep.
work on my next video. Let
Definitely.
me plan something,
That happened to me
Definitely.
during Apple Blossom, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, this kid, he saw me with my camera, and he walked up to me. He had a camera, too. And he, like, asking questions, like, what's up, like, what's your name and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And He's like, do you have Instagram? I said, yeah, it's T Clem Studios. He's like, you're T Clem Studios? I was
like, what? Like, that's a
That's
thing.
I mean, it just felt great. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, you know me? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yellow, we know a celebrity.
Duh. What you mean?
Actually, we know 2 now because Nick's here.
Oh, he's always been Godzilla out here.
Yes.
So,
You
Nick,
seen
do
his
you do
movies?
any live shows?
Currently, no. I'm thinking about, and let me know if this is something that people would be interested in. Doing a small, like, intimate 60 people, max show in downtown Culpeper in the fall, probably.
I'd come.
That'd be
I
dope.
I think
Let
your
us know,
music
brother.
will be perfect for something like that.
Yeah.
You gonna
And-
need more than 60 seats though, man, because that whole town
Well,
rocking with you, brother.
And I thought of, like, if for some reason it's, I'm blessed enough that it sells out, then I might do, like, a Friday and then a Saturday.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
like
There
a
you
back-to-back. Like,
That's
just
awesome.
that way to keep it intimate,
Yeah.
because I would love to, like, meet everyone that came and,
Yeah.
Of course.
chat with them and just have, intimate's the word.
Yeah.
Man, what if Culpeper still had the theater open, man?
Yeah, that's a big place.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
There is the place, it's the Jewel Box. It's like a basement theater.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I haven't been back for a minute. I have to go check it
I
out.
think we got the perfect place for you to perform at around here, but we're gonna
Yeah.
talk to you later about that. If you were down, of course, we would love to have you back out here for a performance.
Everything runs through my wife, so we gotta.
All right, we're gonna talk to
Talk
wife.
to- we'll talk to the boss.
Please, please.
That's awesome, man.
Well, you want to give some shout outs? Shout out to all your social media and everything. Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, I am Nic D on Instagram. IAMNICD. And that's pretty. I mean, Facebook, Nic D.
And you're
YouTube,
on
Nic D.
all streaming platforms.
Yeah, everywhere. Apple Music, Spotify. I mean, whatever. Like, literally whatever. They're on everything. You can go to, like, Deezer or Amazon Prime Music.
Yeah,
and
it's
Right.
up there.
They
like
got
whatever
it on
stuff,
everything,
like
huh?
Tidal. Like, I don't even know what that is, but it's there.
Yeah.
My man's official on
Yeah.
all platforms.
Yeah.
He's dropping new videos every 2 weeks, every
Yeah.
other Friday.
Every other Friday. Yeah.
Let's go around and give some shout outs. Nick, you want to start us off with some shout outs? Who you shouting out?
People?
Anybody.
Mhm.
You shout out yourself if you want.
I gotta do that.
Just anyone who's listening, 'cause that's it makes my heart feel good. It makes it feel like what you're doing is helpful. That
Mhm.
that you're making a difference or an impact. So anyone listening, thank you.
Awesome.
Big whoops. Yellow.
For sure. Just want to thank everybody in this room. I'm thankful for all the stuff that we have and what we create and what we also give to people. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, my family, everybody, anybody who's, like he said, anybody who's listening, anybody with a dream, and anybody who wants to evolve. I mean, that's who it's for.
Shaw.
I give my mom. I'm gonna give them my mom and my grandma early Mother's Day shout outs because
All the
would
moms.
be yes.
All
Yes.
tomorrow.
Obviously nowhere without them, so they're amazing. But also my amazing siblings, my family. Without them, I'd be nothing. You guys, the Skillet. So shout out to everybody and everybody in the community that is helping us grow. I appreciate you guys.
Trav, who you shouting out?
Shout out, Nick. Appreciate you coming, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Glad to have you.
Yeah.
Hey, amen. Big shout out, Nic D. Go follow him. Go check out all his music on all platforms. New content every other Friday. Here's a reminder, Mother's Day is this Sunday. Shout out to all the moms out there. We are the Skillet. Big whoop.